seventh graders, today is Monday, December 14th. What you are going to do today is read lesson 1, which can be found between the pages of 250 and 254, so a relatively short lesson. And then you're going to answer the questions on page 255. You do have a science notebook. This week it is much shorter than normal because we are only covering one lesson, which is the rock cycle. So that is why I included that down here in the bottom that says turn your science notebook in no later than Friday. I understand that this is the last week before Christmas break. Normally we would be reviewing for a final. We are going to treat this week as though it is a normal week and not right before Christmas. So very similar assignments that you are going to be seeing. We will be doing a short little project this week that has to do with rocks. Last week you completed a project that had to do with minerals. But this week we're going to focus more on rocks and the rock cycle. Now, you still have warm-ups this week. So your warm-up today is define the rock cycle. So you are simply writing the definition for the vocab term rock cycle, which can be found on page 251. This picture here is a good visual for you to see what happens. So sediments, which was one of your vocab words last week, is basically little pieces of rock. Once those sediments compact, it is then a sedimentary rock. So all of these little pieces compact together, and this can also be a circle here and it never get down here. If these sedimentary rocks go through weathering and erosion, then they're going to simply turn back into sediments. However, if there is heat and pressure added, then that makes it into a metamorphic rock. If again we have weathering and erosion, that's going to go back and turn into sediments again. So here could be a circle as well. But if the metamorphic rocks melt, then that turns into magma. Last week you learned that magma, as one of your vocab words, is basically just inside of Earth. Once it gets to the exterior of Earth, it turns into lava. So when magma goes from the interior of Earth and goes to the surface of Earth, that is now considered lava. If that magma cools, then we have igneous rock. If that melts again, then we have magma, and that can go back and forth. If igneous rocks have heat and pressure applied, notice that anytime there's an arrow and it says heat and pressure, we turn it into a metamorphic rock. But if the igneous rock goes through weathering and erosion, then we are back to sediments. Again, similar to how we just talked about metamorphic rocks, anytime there is an arrow that says weathering and erosion, we turn back into sediments. So back to what I was saying for your warm-up. To define the rock cycle, you are simply going to go to page 251 in your online textbook and write down that definition. Now, your next thing that you are going to be completing, as I said on the previous slide, you are going to read lesson 1, and then you are going to answer the questions that could be found on 255. I will be posting hints right after I'm done talking, so please use those to your advantage.